This is our YouTube channel that we set up. We've had a page on Facebook for a while called Restless Legs Adventures now, just for friends and family to follow along. We've had to set up a YouTube channel to post some of the videos because they're longer in length. Some people are asking about a bit of our gear and some information about those. So we just thought we'd do a few videos, literally nothing fancy, just for friends and family, but just to tell you a little bit about the kit that we're using. So the first video I'm going to do is what they call the big three. So that's your rucksack, your sleep system, which is this pile here, and then your tent. That's known as the big three in through hiking. And the PCT is going to be our first through hike. So although we're both fairly experienced day hikers, we've never done a big through hike before, and packing for this is quite different. When you do a day hike, you tend to carry everything with you that you think you'll need, hopefully anyway, barring any items that you forget by mistake. But with a through hike, you know you're going to need to swap kit out and change it as the seasons change or as the climate or the environment changes. So these are the things we're starting off with on the PCT. So my rucksack is the first thing. So this is an Osprey Aura 65 litre bag. This is the ladies bag. So Osprey, I really love their bags. The frame is adaptable in size, so you can get different length frames depending on how long your body is, your torso. And then also the straps do adjust as well, so you can still adjust it further still by the frame on here. This is by no means a light bag. This is 4.5 pounds in weight, even just to start with, and it's also quite large at 65 litres. But we're early starters, so the whole time we've thought about the PCT, we kind of envisaged starting maybe mid-April, and we're a good month ahead of that with an 11th of March start date. So we're going to be up against weather conditions that we just not sort of envisaged. Because of that, we want to take a bigger bag, so we've got plenty of space for extra layers, things like that. And to be honest, the extra capacity of the bag is not so bad. We can, it doesn't matter if it's empty, we don't have to fill it, but we probably will. One of the things I really like about this bag, we've been using these for about a year or so at home, so these have been well tested already. And one of the things that I really like is that this bag is meant for carrying weight. So there's an Osprey Asia, which is a slightly smaller bag, but a lot of the reviews say that the hip belt and the padding on that really isn't for carrying weight. So if you go beyond its recommended weight capacity, you can feel it on your hips and things. This has a really good padded waist belt, which really does mould and fit in around you, so that you can take the weight on your hips rather than on your shoulders. I've had a bad shoulder for years, so that's a really, really good positive feature for me. So it's a heavy bag, and we know that, and we are open to the fact we might end up wanting to swap them out at a later date, but I'm certainly very happy with it as my starting choice. It does come with a brain, which is the sort of the top lid that comes on the bag, but I've chosen not to hike with that. I just find on my length of torso, the brain sits right behind the head, and I spend the whole time kind of being bopped in the back of the head with it. So I'm opting not to use my brain, and instead I'll just use the normal top cover, which you also get with it. So this makes my pack shorter, but to compensate for the sort of capacity that I'm losing there and the ease of access in like a smaller pouch, I'm carrying a bum bag as well. So that's where my setup differs slightly to Dean's. So that's the bag. There's a bit more waffle on that one because, like I say, we've been using it for a year or so now, so we've kind of tried and tested it, whereas a lot of the other things we're not really quite there with. We've tested it a little bit, but certainly not a lot. So the tent is the next thing. The tent that we're carrying between us is a Big Agnes Tiger Wall UL3. That means it's a 3-person tent. We're sharing the load, so I'm carrying the body of the tent, the fabric, and the ground sheet, and Dean's carrying the tent pegs and the poles. Contrary to what Dean thinks, we did weigh them and they are very similar. He thinks he's had the heavy end of the deal there, but they do weigh similar. We're doubling up the ground sheet. A hiker to town and a hiker to trail flag. I don't know if that'll show in this reflection here. So again, that's another good use for that. Hitchhiking is a big part of the PCT, so we'll explain a bit more about that later, but that's a really good thing to have ready to use on the roads for hitchhiking. Sorry for all the rustling. So that's our tent. We're happy with it. We've used it a few times, not for any sort of very long periods of time. It does feel like paper thin, it's like tissue paper, so we're conscious we'll need to be very careful with it. We've watched a lot of reviews on it and we're quite happy with how we think it will hold up. We know that we need to be careful with the zips and it's sort of the fabric catching in the zips because it's so fine. And we bought some extra lightweight pegs to go with it, so that we've got more pegs than you get with it, just in case we have some bad weather fronts, which is certainly looking like we will do at the moment. So that's the tent. Then moving on to the sleep system. Now this is like where all of my luxury items come at once, really. So if I start from the ground up, Dean and I have a slightly different setup. He's already done some gear videos, so you'll have seen his stuff probably already. We've got these, they're like sort of like a soft foam mat. This is an Xped Flex Mat Plus. It's very soft, it's just foamy, they're quite delicate. This has already been caught on trees and things when we did the cleaving way. It's got holes in it, and we've noticed that when people use them for a prolonged period of time, the cells start to flatten, so there's certainly no any of the volume by the time you've done sort of 500 miles with them. It's excellent to have. I mean, obviously it's a bulky carry, and I wasn't convinced about this, but actually I've used it recently for a few things and I've really enjoyed it. So I probably will strap it to my bag on the outside, either like that or like that. This is a really good mat. It's something that if you've got it on the outside of your pack, when you stop for a rest or your lunch, you can pull it off and either sit on it as a chunk, so you've got a little bit of a stool, or you can lie it down fully and lie on it. We know that we need to be doing some stretches and things when we finish each day, so this gives us something a bit gentle for our knees as well. And also, the primary thing for me is that it protects your air mattress. So as well as this, I've also got an air mattress, which looks very bulky at the moment. It's not folded up, obviously. This is an Xped Sinmat 7 Short. Now, I didn't buy this for the PCT, and if I was choosing to buy one for the PCT, I certainly wouldn't buy this. I've had this probably about 15 years. This has gone with me on all of my trips everywhere. So like, it's so well time served, and it's my little, I just love it. It's really comfy. When it's blown up, it's like, it's quite a chunky air mattress. It's not like a very thin one like a lot of them. It's heavy and it's bulky, but it was expensive and it served me really well. And I didn't see the point, excuse me, my voice is going. I didn't see the point in spending a lot of money on a new mat when I had this at home, and this is so comfortable. And I guess when you're hiking every day, that's what really matters. You need to sleep, you need to recover. Sleep is so important for your body to be able to recover for your next day's hiking. And so I've stuck with this. So it will roll up a bit smaller than this, but it's definitely a luxury item. And then having the other mat underneath it will protect it. So hopefully I won't get any punctures. I've never had any yet, but it is an old mat. And for that reason as well, if it gets damaged and it's beyond repair, then I won't feel absolutely gutted that it's my new mat that's been punctured, that I've just spent a lot of money on. So that's my mat system. I think I'll be very comfy on this. This is synthetic lined, it's not down. I think they say that synthetic is slightly less appealing to mice and things. There are a lot of mice on lots of sections of the PCT, and it's a short mat. I'm only like 5'3", so it's shorter, so I saved a little bit of weight there. But again, still not a lightweight choice. But totally open to swapping it out if I need to. My next part of my sleep kit, and this is just where all of the weight in my bag comes along. So these are sleeping bags. We've both got the equivalent sleeping bags. This is the Nemo Disco, and this is what they deem to be like a side sleeper's sleeping bag. So it's a bit more roomy across the middle section, and the ladies one has an extra insulated foot box. This is really lofty, really thick and warm. I've not used this loads yet, so I kind of reserve judgment. Again, it's not the lightest, it's not the most compact, but I just really think that sleeping, especially with the early start date, we need to make sure we're going to be warm enough in the desert where it can be quite cold. Just for your reference, comfort is down to -8. The limit is -15, so that's the limit of the comfort. And then extreme is down to -35, and they're all degrees Celsius. So this is what they would call a 4-season sleeping bag, but it is bulky, and so you do pay the price for that. 650 fill down. The thing that I already really don't like on this bag is that it zips up on the left. Is that right? I can't. No, sorry.
On the right.
It zips up on the right rather than the left. So all my life I've used sleeping bags that zip up on the left. This one zips up on the right because it's designed so that it can zip together with the male sleeping bag, so that you can make one big sleeping bag if you want to. For me, that just seems completely unnecessary and gimmicky. When you're sweaty and dirty on the trail, the last thing I want to be doing is zipping my sleeping bag up and sharing sweat and muck with Dean. But for me, I don't like that they've switched that the female zip. They've switched that over to accommodate that function. I'd far rather have it on the other side and stay in my own sleeping bag. But we'll see how it fares. Like I say, a very warm bag. I think I'll certainly be very warm. You can see how lofty the head and the hood and the face panel is. Definitely be very warm. But it's huge, isn't it? I mean, obviously it packs down. So a sleeping bag. Then my next little bundle of things, I'm just getting this chaotic bundle in front of me here. I'll be sleeping, keep it quick now because I've gone on longer than I thought. Some Rab thermal leggings. I love these. They're really soft, really stretchy, comfortable. So I'll be sleeping in those. I've got a separate sleep outfit, so to speak, which I know is an extravagance. Not everybody does that, but I just really want to be keeping a bit cleaner and more comfortable on a night. And also, if we're hiking in bad weather, I want to just know that I've got a dry outfit to go to sleep in and stay warm. I've got a merino wool 200 merino icebreaker base layer. This is just a very soft, comfortable, baggy t-shirt that's quite light, very breathable, and will just be really good for just putting on every night for me to sleep in. Under that, I've got a separate pair of merino wool pants, again just for something clean and nice to change into on a night that I can just keep switching out, and my socks as well, sleep socks. And then I've got an extra micro fleece. It's a Montane one. It's very thin. It's not really a fleece, it's tiny, very thin, very lightweight, but again just conscious that I might need an extra layer with us being an early start date. And then my last 3 luxury items. I can't go anywhere without lip balm, and I know that the desert conditions will totally take that out of us, so I want that with my sleeping bag. Earplugs. I think, well, it goes without saying, but I think not just sort of snoring and things like that when you're camping near other people, but also just getting used to the sort of sounds of a different country and things that might freak you out in the night. I'd rather not hear them. And a sleep mask, because I just find that really comfortable. I'm quite light sensitive, and I think a sleep mask, for what it, for the size it packs down in, will probably make quite a difference to me. Sorry, I've waffled on longer than I thought, but basically that's my system. I've just realised I've missed my pillow off. I've got the Nemo Disco pillow as well, which I'll probably show you in a different video. Again, quite luxury. You've probably noticed already, I'm just concentrating on sleep being really important for recovery and resting. And also, we're not in a hurry because we're such an early start date. There's a limit to how fast along the trail we want to move. So we've got time for sort of like decent sleep. So for all of these reasons, this is my big 3. thank you very much for watching. Sorry to have waffled on so long. Like I say, we just do these with friends and family, so hopefully by now you'll already know that we waffle and, you know, we're not pros at this. But thank you for showing an interest in what we're doing. We really appreciate you following along and all of the questions that we've been getting and the best wishes. Thank you. See you. Bye.